Okay, so just finished the Fiat for the boot, and somehow I'm gonna have to manage to take the Fiat out of here to bring that Mercedes without moving that Mercedes. Let me see if I can get this done. Okay, and I did manage to do it. The Fiat is right there at the back without having to move the Mercedes. Could move it, to be honest, but I just didn't want to move it. I was thinking I'll be doing a little bit more today, but it's getting dark now. But the reason why I'm going to carry on working like this, although I really don't like, I keep saying this, I need to get more light, maybe outside. I don't know. Anyway, guys, the reason is because the guy is a little bit desperate for it. Today, what is today? Today is Tuesday, and I think the guy needs these done by Thursday. So literally, I'll have tomorrow. But I want to start today. Majority of the work on this most likely is going to be on a bench if we can fix it. I have a good idea of what happened, and I'm going to take you through the story. So the car is a Mercedes 2014, a Mercedes Citan, the 109 CDI blue efficiency. That doesn't really matter for what we're going to be doing here, but the story with this is that this had a turbo problem, I believe so. Or an engine issue. Anyway, the guys that did this, they had to take the subframe out, and to take the subframe, I can only imagine that's why it happened what happened. I can only imagine they had to disconnect the steering shaft from the actual steering rack in order to take the subframe. There is a issue with this car which I was not asked to look at, but I was told that looks like the steering is not locking. So when you take the key out of the ignition, the steering isn't locking. But that I was asked not to touch. So they had to take the subframe out, and apparently what happened was, while the subframe was out, the steering has moved from the center position. When they put it back, they didn't notice. They put everything back on, and obviously when they put everything back on, the steering was not centered with the wheels, and therefore the clock spring was not either centered, or was not centered either. And you can start to imagine what happened. So when they put everything back together, blah 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 blah, when they drove the car, when they had to go full lock, I don't know which way, right or left, but when they went full lock, bang, airbag light came on, and now you have other issues as well with the ESC. So I don't know what's broken inside of that clock spring. I don't know how the steering angle sensor works on this, if there's any other stuff that broke, but that's basically the story, and I can actually show you that and confirm all that issues to you guys. So we are going to start this thing. And as you can see, there we go. So we have a, yeah, this is not perfect, guys, but it is what it is. So we have airbag, ESC, and that, guys, is a spanner light. Hold on. Wait, slightly better. Slightly better. So airbag, ESC, and spanner light. I believe that's the ESC, electronic stability control. And that's it, guys. So all we're going to do now is we are going, because we know already what the problem is, we are going to remove this steering. I'm not sure, never took one of these apart. There we go, there is the hole to remove the airbag, I'm guessing. So we're going to remove everything and see what broke. And there we go, check airbag. There's no need to scan this, we know what the problem is. So we're going to do it, dismantle everything, and try to figure out if it can be actually repaired. Okay, so I'm going to take you kind of step by step, so you guys know, guessing then how to take this airbag out. So to take the airbag out, just put the steering upside down like that. Okay, and then you'll have access to that hole in there with a small screwdriver. Just put it through. Okay, like so. When you push it, what you're going to do, you're going to push this tab, and what you do is, when you push the tab, You push the top, you slide the airbag down, and then it comes out. Okay, so now we are going to unplug the airbag, remove the steering, and then get to the actually clock spring. Okay, all out. So to remove this, once you have the surrounding plastics out, all you need to do, there is a plug right here at the top, there is 2 plugs right there at the bottom, and one screw in there that you need to undo. Once you have that done, is literally just yank it out and it will come out. While we were here, and quickly they asked me to have a look at why the steering wheel was not locking, because someone has been here already and has eliminated the steering lock. So that's some sort of resin inside, as I'm going to show you. It looks like silicone, but it's not. So some sort of resin, and the steering lock has been obviously eliminated. There we go, it's been eliminated. So that's why the steering doesn't lock. So next. So next, let's gonna try to dismantle this and see if we can repair it. Just a quick note, obviously you guys know you buy a Mercedes, or you pay for a Mercedes, but you are actually buying a Renault everywhere. Steering column is Renault. I believe even the engine is a Renault engine. Yeah, cars are not what they used to be anymore. You are just deceived to think you bought a Mercedes, but you actually didn't. Right, let's gonna get some work done. Okay, first of all, let's gonna try to figure out how we open this, and I think it's gonna open here, but there is several stages. Oh man. Oh man. Let's start with this cap of the actually clock spring. Just little tabs all around. Not really rocket science. Now we need to do the same here in the middle. Need to pull these ones as well. Okay. Okay, so I want to pull it just like this because there it is. That's where it's broken. But we're gonna have to pull it out regardless, and then try to figure it out. Hey man, I have to put this back on. So where does he? No, connects here. Okay, so there is the connection. There is where it broke. Okay, it broke. Sweet. Okay, good. Because it broke right where the solder points are. I don't know if you are seeing. So it broke right at the beginning. It didn't broke like in the middle or anything like that. So now I need to find. Can I pull these out? Like I can. he comes with the pins. There we go. So okay, so if I now, so this is kind of melted here, should be able to pull it. Let me pull the phone down so you can see a little bit better, I think. So now we're gonna open this little bit here so we can expose this like that. We then glue these in place. There we go. There is where my old one was connected. What we're gonna do is break these off. Okay, now let's gonna make sure we connect this the right way so we don't connect the horn into the airbag. That won't be very good. That won't be very good now. So this is like so, which means so it goes like this, like so, like so, so this is like this. And this goes like this. So this is the direction. There is, that's how it was. We're gonna have to open so we can pull this a little bit forward. That should be okay. So if I do it, the whole, no, I don't need that one because that one is broken here. This middle, we'll open a hole in there to go on that little thing, and then another one here. Ah, this thing is sharp. Oops, that will do. So now let's gonna clean. Let me see if I still remember this. So like that. Like that. Put in there, and our new hole I've done. There we go. Everything is in place really to be soldered. So a little bit of alcohol to clean this properly, so we remove any grease, contaminants and all that good stuff. I'm happy with it. Let's just align these little things a little bit better. Let me dry this out. Should be good. There's one that is not really touching, and I'm not happy with it. Come on, I need you down there, exactly. Let me show you a close-up. Okay, I'm extremely happy with this. So now we're going to put, where is that little cover? Jesus, come here. So now we're going to put this little cover back in, just the way it was. And it's going to be like so. But in order to put this right, what I'm going to do, that should be better. There we go. Sweet. So let's gonna clean now this tape, put new grease, put it all back together. But before that, I need to see, before all of that, I actually need to go and check the actually steering angle, because I don't know, unless the steering angle is in the actually steering column, will it be in there? I hope this doesn't drive. Actually, I can see if it does drive it or not, or maybe no. Ah, crap. Right, let's gonna dismantle a little bit more. I'm not sure where the steering angle is on this thing. So sorry guys for recording this stuff that you probably are not even really interested, but so no, the steering angle is not here. Oh, good. So the steering angle is going to be on the actually steering column, and I guess the only thing that happened in there is that it went over the limit and it threw that fault, so it might just needs a steering alignment. I don't see anything here that works as a steering angle. So yeah, the steering angle most likely is going to be there. Just going to give it a clean before we put it all back together. But looks like we did some progresses. Good. Okay, and after a little bit of battling, I think I've nailed it. So all we're going to do is put a little bit of grease in here and close everything down. Okay, and then we'll try to see if it's okay, and then we'll be just put everything back on. Side first. now inside. So now this goes like this. So let me see how many turns I can give to each side, and then figure out the middle. That's the end of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So 5. So 1, 2. I can't give half because that's how it stays. Let me try again to see if it's actually. So from this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 turns. So I need to give 1, 2. That's it. That's going to be my center. Okay, so let's gonna put it back on and see if our airbag light goes off. Okay, and had enough yesterday. Right, next day. It's a bit windy today. Anyway, so before we do anything, before we start to put anything together, I have the maxi keys connected. Just need to log in into the car, but doesn't matter. All we're gonna do is see what happens. We're gonna test it like this. It's not really stretched, so it's okay. So I don't know if the light's gonna go off just like this or if it needs to go to reset. We'll give it a go. So oh, look at that, and it actually goes off straight away. So looks like we have a fix on these part of the things. We'll then clear the codes later, but before we do that, I want to make sure we can actually sort the ESP light. So at the moment, as you can see, the light is actually going off, and the light will come back on, or it was coming back on when you would turn the steering. So I'm not sure if it needs an alignment, whatever it needs. We're going to log in quickly on the maxi keys, try to run through the codes and try to understand what's going on. Okay, and we're going to give it a quick scan. Try to understand if it just needs a component steering angle is defective, is a stored code. That's not very good, and the steering component is implausible. So they're all stored at the moment, but as I said, it used to go off sometimes and then would come on as you turn the steering. So yeah, let me go to live data. So the steering should be at the center position at the moment. Sensors perhaps. Not sure what that means. 0, 0, 0. It doesn't show me. Okay, that's interesting. I thought you would show me the position. It actually does. There we go. So the value is at 720. Okay, and my steering, as you can see, is actually straight. So let's see if I can align this steering before I put all of these back on, because last thing I want as well is to put everything back on and then having to, for any reason, come on, for any reason having to remove this. Okay, and if I have to remove this again, I don't want to have to be putting all these now and then remove everything. So it's gonna get everything kind of ready to do a steering wheel alignment and see what happens. I hope I don't need to drive this to do it, but if we do have, we do have. Okay, and as I was looking for the steering angle alignment, it's actually under the steering electric power steering. So that's where it is, because I couldn't find the procedure under the ESP. Under the ESP. So if you go to trouble codes, we have that code. It shows stored, but obviously we do have an issue. That light will come back on. So obviously, as you can see, the light is not on at the moment. Let me just I don't know if I need to start it to start the van. But if I go to live data, as you're gonna see, if I go to sensors this time, okay, so there it is. Okay, so this is all my live data, but as you can see, the steering angle sensor is completely out, and then it tells me the value out of the permissible range, so is over 600, and calibrated is not initialized. So we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go to, it's really windy today, control unit adaptations, and I should have here, there it is, stitching process, and my steering angle should be, there we go. So let me see what I need to do. This should give me a quick explanation, I hope. Okay, so clear turbo codes, blah 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 blah. Tolerance. Okay, so it looks like I don't need to drive it. So all we're gonna do is start it up, because otherwise it's gonna be nearly impossible to turn the steering wheel left to right, etc. So we start it up. Okay, so is on. Now let me just be 100% sure that my steering is completely straight. Yeah, I'd say it is. Let me make sure my steering here is also straight, which to me looks like it is. So mechanically should be okay. Okay, so what do we need to press? F1 to start. Okay, there we go. Steering angle sensor is at 0. Calibration was completed successfully. After calibration, right and left. Stop, right and left. So let's gonna go to the right. And now to the left. And now back to center, which I think is here. See that? Yeah, so that's the center, give or take. Yeah, it should be it. So now we're going to do continue, completed. Now we're going to do escape and escape, escape. Let's see if we have any codes. That's stored. Let's clear that DTC. Okay, now we're gonna come out. Now that's gonna go there again, because my light is now on, so I guess we need to clear the codes. Triple codes. Clear these codes. Yes. Escape. Escape. And there we go. So light is gone off. So we should be now good to go and start to assemble everything to then clear the airbag light, although the airbag light goes off as soon as you plug everything back in. But we'll do that and see if my spinner light goes off as well. I think it's part of that, of the airbag system, or any electrical fault, that spinner light will come on. So we're going to start to assemble all of this, and that's about it really. And we are nearly there. Just one thing I've noticed as I was putting everything back together was that these, and if you look back on the video, you're going to see that these little sort of pin covered in rubber was actually broken as well. So whenever they broke this, obviously as this clock spring caused some resistance, the steering tried to force it, and judging by the way this was broken, I think they were turning that way. They were turning to the right when these actually snapped. Obviously this was missing, so I've just glued it back in because otherwise the force, another force, first of all was a little bit off play on the clock spring between the steering, and but all the pushing of the clock spring was happening up here when it should be happening in this little pin here. So just a quick thing, maybe never gonna happen to you, but just curiosity. One last thing before we put everything back on. Yeah, the horn is working as well, which is good. Okay, all back together. So let's gonna start this thing. Right, everything is off. In the meantime, what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to do, courtesy of from the house, we are going to do an auto scan on this thing and clear any codes, but it's good. So let's gonna go. That's flashing because the machine is scanning it. Okay, there we go, no problems at all. There we go. So it looks like we do have a fix. I don't think I need to go for any drives or anything like that. Problem is solved. There's nothing else to look at. So yeah, it's those lights, they flash while the car is being scanned, which is absolutely normal. Is normal on a Renault, a Renault Mercedes, a Merc Renault. Right, so we have two faults with the airbag system. We know what the airbag system is. Obviously, it's going to be a stored fault for now for our airbag system. We'll let it to load. So yeah, in the meantime, guys, was nothing really rocket science, as you have seen. Quite easily done. I don't know. So there we go. It's a stored fault, so we're going to clear that. Yes, that's cleared. Now we're going to go out and we're going to see what's going on that fuse and relay module, if there's anything that we can clear or not. Okay, so that's echo and start. Switch conditions were missing, doesn't really matter. Current and stored component. Standing lights as an open circuit standing lights. Not really sure what that means. Let me just clear that. Okay, so we might, I don't know, not asked to look at anything else, so we'll say for now is a fault-free car. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, not rocket science, to be fair with you, something quite simple. I'm not sure. They told me they looked, so this came from another garage, by the way. I think I already mentioned it, but they said they looked for these clock spring and assembly, and apparently on eBay is about 250 quid. So a big saving here by actually getting it repaired. And again, I'll show you again, we have no faults. There we go. Beautiful. So, no further ado, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you guys might find useful. Maybe you learned something. If you do still have any questions or any comments, you know exactly how it works, just put them below. And like always, thank you for watching.